Okay, today we're going to replace the backplate gasket on the Taskmaster 3 valve. You'll notice we laid the valve face down on the table. The first thing we need to do is remove the hitch pin from the drive link. Then we will remove the two Allen head bolts holding the valve body to the stiffening bracket. These bolts need to be removed completely. Then we will push the piston in slightly. This will give us clearance to remove the drive link. Oop, that's far enough. Okay, then we loosen the bolts holding the stiffening bracket and the motors to the back plate. These bolts do not need to be removed, just loosened. Okay, now we will turn the valve over with the body facing down. We will remove any wires that are in the way of the process and completely remove all 10 of the bolts holding the back plate to the valve body itself. You will notice we have an air tool for this, but any hand ratchet will work. Okay, after the bolts are removed, you'll notice the back plate will just simply lift off, and we will replace the gasket. You'll notice this is a defective gasket. You can tell by the torn holes where the bolts went through and the deep indentions for the seating area. We want to place our new gasket on the valve body. Make sure the pointed end points towards the drain end of the valve. You'll notice one end is pointed and the other end is squared. You want to point in towards the drain end. Okay, now we simply place our assembly back on top of the valve body and reinstall the screws. Make sure all the holes are lined up squarely and evenly through the gasket and the valve body. When all the bolts are in, we will retort these screws to 40 inch-pounds. We have a pneumatic tool preset to 40 inch-pounds for this job, but you can use any small ratchet and snug them up, then come back with a torque wrench and torque them to 40 pounds. 40 inch-pounds. Make sure this is inch-pounds, not foot-pounds. You want to start in the center and crisscross your way out. And repeat the process at least once. As you tighten the gasket compressors, and the original bolts will be loose. They need to be retorqued at least once. Make sure you get all the bolts. There we go. And reattach any wires that you took loose in the beginning. Shut off the tail. And we will flip the valve back over. And just repeat the process. You need to put the bolts back into the valve body. Drive link lined up with the piston before you tighten things up. Tighten these two bolts first, and then you can come back and tighten the stiffening bracket to the motor. Push the piston back in so you can reattach it. tap it in, and the job is now complete.